Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today we're talking in Just Like That, episode 2. You guys, first of all, if you're new here, welcome. Normally I'm covering all kinds of Bravo shows and Real Housewives stuff, and I try to keep it light and funny. So don't judge me on this episode because I'm going to let it fly. You better believe. Oh, also, if you have not seen this episode and you don't want to know spoilers, I don't know spoilers for the series, but I'm going to talk about the complete episode, including what happens from start to finish. If you don't want to know, pause me, go watch it, come back, listen afterwards. You guys, can I just tell you, I loved the series, right? I loved it. I loved the original series. I watched every episode a million times. I saw the movies in the theaters. I loved them all. Okay, I didn't really love the movies, but I loved the show. I just thought it was fantastic. So you got to say I am bummed out is the most understatement ever. Like, I am so mad at this show. I've had to re-record myself 3 times on this intro because I keep going into these tirades of how mad I am. Let me explain. I want to like this. I am, like, programmed to like this because I love the original show. But you guys, this show sucks. I know it's not fair, we're only 2 episodes in, but what are we doing? This show sucks. Let me explain. Okay, I had said in the last episode, I don't understand why they didn't... Okay, again, spoiler. If you don't want to know, turn me off, but I'm going to talk openly here. I don't understand why they didn't kill off Big during the break between whatever, the movie and now, or whatever you want to do, the show and now. I don't understand. Somebody... Thank you, whoever you were. I meant to look up your name. Somebody had a very good comment where they pointed out, you know, they kind of owed it to him because he was such a big, pardon the pun, big character. They needed to bring him into this and to show their story and then to kill him off. I get it. I respect that. And you know what? You're very smart for thinking that because I didn't even think like that. But here's my thing, my beef. Why do you have to torture us with this? Why are we being subjected to this horrible painfulness? I'm just not somebody who, and I know some people like to feel sad when they watch things. I'm not that person. I don't come to Sex and the City, I don't know, to be depressed as shit. I'm depressed as shit. I really am. Watching these is so depressing. It's horrible. And yeah, I don't need to be light and fluffy. That was kind of the beauty of the original series. You know, we saw the women go through all kinds of things from, you know, cancer stuff to just everything. We've seen everything. I get it. But what are we doing with this show? Why are you guys torturing us with this? It's like you see these characters who you carry around in your head, you know, because you know them so well, and they're torturing us with these episodes. I don't know what they're doing. It's like, let's make it as sad as possible. Let's depress the hell out of you, make you feel terrible, and we'll call that entertainment. Aren't you guys glad to be watching this? Okay, so I know I'm talking through the scenes. I'm just so like fired up about this and in shock that this is where they're going with this. I'm going to say something real controversial here too. We needed diversity in this cast. Obviously, you can't live in a dynamic city like New York and not show that. I get it. It's great. You know, why didn't they think of this years ago? That it didn't make any sense. Okay, but all of a sudden it's this forced wokeness that is driving me up the wall, and it's the same complaint I had about Real Housewives of New York this season. There is a way to handle this, and it's not what they're doing. This just isn't it. This isn't how we do this. This isn't going to send a message to anybody. It's just pissing people off. I don't know. I think they've just ruined Miranda. I didn't really care for her before, but they have made her just this complete bumbling idiot. And I understand nobody gets it right? We all have room to learn. I get that. Like, I think that's what they're trying to say. But they have turned her into such a villain, super villain in this. She's unwatchable. So like this scene here, yeah, I took it out of order, but I just wanted to make my point. The bar isn't even open yet at this funeral, and she orders the lady to get her a drink and says, "I'm family." Like, meaning, bitch, open up early. I'm family. And what's weird is, if you remember on the first episode, she did the same thing. She went into a bar before it was open, sat and stared at her phone, and they said, "Ma'am, we're not open." She's like, "Okay, I'll wait." I mean, it's just, I've worked in service forever, and that sucks. That sucks. So, yeah, now I'm not into it. Okay, let's dive back into where we were in the episode. I'm just so pissed it's hard to follow along. But they're getting ready for the funeral, and, I mean, it's just one awful scene after another. I can't. Okay, so Carrie's in her closet. She's hugging the wardrobe. We see Stanford there. Again, my heart breaks because unfortunately that actor did pass away. I hate that. Beautiful area where they're holding the ceremony or the service for Big. And Carrie's upset because she's like, I told you no flowers. Why are there flowers here? Well, it turns out the flowers are for Samantha. From Samantha. I'm very surprised that they included that part, but interesting. Okay, again, the show makes no sense. They made a big deal about this lady. This is Gloria. This was supposed to be Big's longtime assistant, right? And great. I think it's cool that they brought that detail in. She's here at the funeral. In the middle of the funeral, she's crying so loudly she distracts everybody and they all turn around. What is the point of that? Tell me where we're going with that. How does that help me in the storyline? I don't understand. Sorry, I'm very upset. Okay, again, Stanford is being an asshole. He's telling this Gloria, hey, that's my seat. And even Anthony's like, what's going on with you? So it just, none of it made sense. It feels like they're doing this thing where they're putting out all these loose ends and they're not tying them up. You know what I mean? I guess they'll maybe revisit it during the season. Maybe they won't. I just don't understand. Why are you making them all so unlikable? Because that's exactly what's happening. They're all so unlikable. I don't dislike Carrie so much yet, but I don't love her. And I just hate that this is what this show is about right now. Okay, sorry. I'm done whining. Sheesh. Remember her? This is Susan Sheridan. Okay, that's a funny thing. She's credited as Susan Sharon, but when you Google it, it's Susan Sheridan, because I swear in one of the episodes she called herself that. Doesn't matter. She was in the one with the cashmere where her husband was awful and they'd yell at each other and they got a dog, so the husband killed the dog. Yeah, flashback to that. Okay, great. Here's Che. Remember, that's Carrie's podcast boss, and Miranda catches them giving, drugs to the young kid. It's all so stupid. You guys, it's all so stupid. It makes me mad. I even cut out the first scene because they had Brady having sex, and I'm sorry, but I'm not showing that because it's gross, because he's not supposed to be 18 yet, so I'm not showing it. It's gross. I don't want to know that. I want to see about these grown women having sex. I don't want to see that. Okay, so they got off on a really bad foot. They're yelling at each other because she believes Che was trying to give her son drugs. Okay, they're reintroduced, and this is another scene that bothered me. I sound like I'm just complaining. I don't mean to. I'm a lot more fun than this, I promise. But they're laughing, and they're having a grand old flirt and fun time right in the middle of this funeral, right? This is your best friend's husband's funeral. And you can't even act like a person here? Like, what's happening? It's so weird. Go back and watch this scene if you want, and you'll see that she's laughing so loudly. It's insane. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. That night, the girls are all together. They're going back to Carrie's apartment, and room full of gifts or whatever you call that, baskets and stuff. Heartbreaking. We do see text messages between Samantha and Carrie because Carrie's not sleeping. They made it look like Carrie's been reaching out to her, and she ended up saying thank you for the flowers. Meanwhile, Dum Dum here, talking about Miranda, unlikable Dum Dum, is in the subway again because they really like to put her in the subway. She sees her professor because, New York is so small, you see the same person every day because that seems to be what's happening. Okay, professor is like, that these weirdos try to steal her bag, and Miranda hits him with a book. And it's like, what's the point of this? Is it just to make Miranda less hateable? Where are we going with this? Like, to make the professor hate her less? I don't understand. Carrie receives Big's urn, and she's there with Miranda and Stanford, and there's a whole thing where Charlotte comes over. She's trying to get Stanford to hide, and Stanford, of course, forgets his martini, so he goes back to get it. She sees him, and she immediately bursts out into tears, because apparently that's Charlotte's thing. Charlotte feels so guilty. She feels like she's the reason Big died. If Carrie could have just gone to the Hamptons like she wanted to, she would have been there to save Big. They kind of agree no, Carrie says no, that's not true. They agree that it's neither of their fault. He just passed away, and it's horrible. Again, it makes Charlotte so unlikable because poor Carrie is just trying to grieve and just have a moment. And freaking Charlotte is like one of those, what do you call it, like energy vultures or whatever, where she steals the moment and she has to make it about herself. It's just like, just listen to your friend for a minute, my God. And then to wrap up this awful episode, we just have Carrie laying on the couch being, just obviously you'd be depressed in this situation, but my God, she's asking for another pill. It's not for 5 hours and she can have another one. She can't sleep. And she says, and I'm not kidding, the last line is, and just like that, I learned how long 5 hours could be. And I know what you're saying to yourself. This recap feels like 5 hours because all I've done is complain, but I'm sorry. I love you guys and I have to get this out because I know you're my people and you're probably feeling the same way as me. And if you don't, that's okay too. Leave me a comment and let me know what you're liking about the show because I can't find it yet. I can't. And I want to, but I can't. So depressed. I'm going to go eat some cookies because that's what I do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I promise I'm a lot more upbeat and funny than this usually. This is just making me mad, so here I am. Check out my other reviews. Leave me comments below. Thank you guys for everything. I'll probably stick with this show because, I'm a sadist and I'll keep torturing myself. But just let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.